Hello, this is Dr. Marty Klein. Today I'd like to talk about what women hate about pornography. Whenever I write about pornography without claiming it's the downfall of Western civilization, I get dozens of angry emails, along with a bunch of appreciative ones. To be honest, these emails are written almost exclusively by women. They're eager to tell me two things. First, how porn has made their lives miserable. And second, these angry and suffering women are eager to tell me about me, how I have obviously never met a porn addict, have obviously never seen a betrayed woman weep, don't care about sexual violence supposedly caused by porn, and have no clue what healthy sexuality is like. Oh, and how I clearly hate women. Now, none of these is true, of course. I see more people and couples with porn-related difficulties than about 99% of the therapists in America. And my decades of clinical work supporting healthy sexual expression of women and men, and my personal life, they speak for themselves. So enough about me. But it's fascinating what people blame on porn. You might as well blame food for obesity, or blame cars for dangerous driving, or blame kids for bad parenting. Of course, obesity involves food, dangerous driving involves cars, and bad parenting involves kids. But if you want to understand problematic behavior, of course, you have to look past the surface. And so women who say porn stole my boyfriend, or my husband was too weak to resist porn, or men always push you to do kinky stuff until you just give in, they aren't really talking about porn. They're talking about relationships, character, power, integrity, communication, and sexuality, which is what I keep pointing out, and which some people keep resenting because they'd rather argue about porn. So here are some of the things that women regularly tell me they hate about porn. I sympathize with the pain that they're obviously in, and I encourage them to think about their situation differently so that maybe they can resolve it. Because if you think any of the following is a porn problem, you won't solve it. And if you think any of the following will be solved by banishing porn, you're wrong. So let's start. He's lost interest in me sexually. Common complaint, and this isn't a porn issue. It's a couples issue. One of the most predictable things in life is that most long-term monogamous people notice that their sexual desire and frequency decline over time. The Romans and the Greeks observed this, as did Shakespeare. It's very old news. And there are many reasons for this, from the psychological to the practical to the biological. And despite a jillion advice givers, no one really knows how to reliably change this. All we really know for sure is that not talking about it never makes things better. And unfortunately, that's the approach that most couples try, not talking about it. When a heartbroken woman says that she's been sexually abandoned in favor of porn, I believe that she's heartbroken, and she may be right about being sexually abandoned, but she's almost certainly wrong about the explanation, because of porn. Another complaint, he compares me to porn actresses and activities. This isn't a porn issue, it's a hostility issue. Polite, considerate, friendly, sympathetic, we all want our mates to be like that. Unfortunately, people find a million ways to be jerks. It can involve money, or dirty socks, or sarcasm, or chronic lateness, and unfairly comparing someone to someone else, and then acting surprised when the person doesn't like it. Don't blame porn for the jerky way that a guy responds to porn. And I would tell women, don't you respond to the porn that you don't watch by comparing yourself to the actresses that he's watching. Another complaint, he leaves evidence of masturbating or porn watching around the house. That sounds kind of icky, but it's not a porn issue, it's a selfishness issue. Selfish people do selfish things. Don't blame the ham when he eats the last piece. Don't blame the money he spent on himself rather than on you, or the birthday that he didn't remember. Like his used tissues or porn DVDs, they're innocent. They're tools in the hands of a selfish person. It's the selfishness that's the issue, not the tools that a selfish person uses to behave in a selfish way. Another complaint. He makes fun of me or our sex life in a nasty way. Ooh, that sounds terrible. But it isn't a porn issue, it's a bullying issue. Bullying, sarcasm, meanness, bad timing, aiming for someone's weaknesses, that is no way to run a relationship. But anyone who's that way now was also that way in the early days. Maybe you thought it was charming back then, or maybe you weren't grown up enough to see it clearly, or maybe you thought you were partly to blame. Now, no one is responsible for being bullied. But if you hate that he grabs your butt in public, don't blame your butt. If you hate that he tells your friends what you confide in secret, don't blame your friends. And if he bullies you about sex, don't blame sex or porn. Only one thing should be blamed for bullying, and that's the bully. Another complaint. He blames his porn watching on me. Now, this isn't a porn issue. It's an adolescent-style lack of responsibility issue. Some people are sexually frustrated, and they respond in a wide range of ways, from suffering silently to infidelity to sulking to drinking to getting over-involved in golf or church. Another way some people respond is by blaming. If you'd have more or better sex with me, I wouldn't watch porn, or be unfaithful, or keep buying new cars. There's a difference between explaining one's choice, it's my best option, and seeing oneself as a victim of another's behavior. You gave me no choice. Additionally, describing one's own choices in a way that makes it sound like someone else is getting a well-deserved punishment is highly manipulative and never productive. We can't always control our circumstances, but we can almost always control how we respond to circumstances. Your inadequacies as a partner drive me to watch porn is a statement not about porn, but about a dysfunctional relationship. Then people say, he says he'll stop watching, and then I catch him doing it. This isn't a porn issue. It's an integrity issue. People should keep their agreements. Simple. People should keep their agreements. The hard part is telling someone ahead of time, no, I don't want to promise what you want me to promise. Many men report being pushed to give up porn, and they know that if they resist, there'll be a huge amount of conflict. Rather than participate in the conflict and try to resolve it, they just agree to stop watching. Later on, when they're found breaking the agreement, their partner has a legitimate complaint. But instead of saying, you've broken your promise, can we please discuss why? Some women double down with, you know I hate it, you said you'd stop, you obviously haven't, and now I don't trust you. And damn it, stop watching porn. Now he could reply, honey, I didn't want to agree to stop watching, but I just couldn't face your anger and your hurt about this, so I said, sure, okay, I won't watch any more porn. But I don't want to stop, and I don't want to lie about not watching. So I'd like to keep watching while we negotiate what we're going to do about this. Unfortunately, what's more typical is that men will mumble, I'm sorry, and they'll promise once again to stop, and either they'll stop for a while, or they'll resume, or not even stop. And then they wonder why their partner is so upset. Now, I think my writing is pretty clear, but inevitably, someone will misinterpret this as a guy telling women how to feel. No. I'm saying the opposite. I'm saying if you're unhappy with your mate, talk about how you feel, not about what he's doing wrong or how he's causing your unhappiness. Say, I feel unimportant. I feel pushed away. I feel unattractive. Or I feel like I don't matter to you. These feelings are important, and I'd never want to take them away from anybody. They're so important that I encourage people who feel those ways to share those experiences with their mates. And then, instead of arguing about porn and disagreeing about porn until the cows come home, there's a chance that two people could actually talk about something real, how one of them feels and doesn't want to feel that way. There's nothing to disagree about there, and plenty to explore and learn about each other. The closeness that typically results can make talking about a complex issue like pornography less contentious, more productive, more intimate, which is ultimately way more important than porn, right? Well, thanks for joining me. I'm Dr. Marty Klein. Oh, by the way, if you'd like to get notified about my little videos every week, just push the red subscribe button at the bottom of this video screen. Thanks a lot. Bye.